In the past couple of years, we've had trades like this, but never have we seen a trade like this go down.
Damn, would have never thought Luka Dončić get traded at this age.
The Dallas Mavericks are sending Luka Dončić, Max Kleber, and Marcus Morris to the Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first-round draft pick. This trade has completely turned the NBA upside down for a couple of reasons. Now, before I share the exact reasoning behind this trade, we have to talk about how it even went down. The Mavs have been quietly shopping Luka for a while now. They attempted to trade Luka to another team. We clearly don't know who that other team was. However, that team declined and didn't want to make a change to their roster. So after hitting a dead end, they approached the Lakers in stealth mode, and through some pretty quick negotiations, the deal was done. No rumors about Luka being on the trade block, just a tweet from Shams on February 2nd at 12:12 a.m. Now let's take a look at both sides. Does this even make sense? The Mavs are receiving a dominant two-way player, Anthony Davis. His ability to rim protect is undeniable. He can stretch the floor, and when he's truly on, he's one of the best players we've ever seen. But it's never been more obvious. One of the reasons the Mavs pulled the trigger on this trade is simply because Anthony Davis has been letting the world know that he wants to have a big man by his side. So he finally got his wish and it arrived in a trade to the Dallas Mavericks. Anthony Davis will be paired with Daniel Gafford, who is a high energy and high motor defender who causes havoc on the defensive end. He's also a lob threat. This is Anthony Davis' go-to opportunity. Reminiscent of his time playing with Dwight Howard, he understands that another big sharing the court with him can allow him to play his natural position, which is a power forward, and unlock his offensive game. The Mavs now have twin towers and potentially one of the best defenders in the league. The Mavs feel like this trade puts AD in a win-now situation, but does it really? Because the Mavs are currently in the 8th seed in the Western Conference, and if the playoffs were to start today, they will have to face the Oklahoma City Thunder, and with a banged-up Mavs squad, they're probably losing the first round. With all that being said, that wasn't the only reason the Mavs made the trade. The Mavs GM Nico Harrison believes defense wins championships. Yeah, that was definitely a shot at Luka. Implying that with Luka's defense, they have no shot at winning a championship. We do know that Luka was seen as a defensive liability last year in the playoffs. There's no denying that. And what Nico Harrison is saying is not a false statement. However, there's a clear silver lining with it. You just traded a 25-year-old who isn't even in his prime, and just led the league in scoring last year with 33.9 points per game. He put his body on the line with blood leaking from his knee and put your team on his back when you guys need him the most, leading the Mavs to the finals for the first time since Dirk Nowitzki, just to receive an aging superstar who's known to be injury prone. Make it make sense. Yet, because he's a defensive liability, the Mavs no longer view Luka as a franchise player. Those are some bold words that they truly meant, because they were unwilling and reluctant to make any progress with Luka's Supermax deal, proving that they weren't committed to him. They also put Luka in a tough situation with that, because he's no longer eligible for that Supermax deal. Even with that being said, there's more we have to uncover. The Mavs now have a starting five lineup consisting of Kyrie, Clay, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, and Daniel Gafford, a long lengthy starting five that has everything a championship team needs: a point guard who can play, make, and score effortlessly, a shooter, a 3-and-D player, a stretch forward who's in his prime, and a rim protector. But what truly makes this lineup have potential is the fact that Klay Thompson will potentially have more plays ran for him, which will give him the opportunity to find his rhythm faster, resulting in 3-point outbursts. With Luka on the team, he was so ball dominant that Klay wasn't running off as many screens as he did in Golden State. It was honestly just stand there and wait for the ball. Yes, AD is a superstar, which means he'll have to get his fair share of touches, but he plays in the post primarily or just underneath the 3-point line, which allows you to construct a totally new offense and implement new ideas because he's not a ball handler. With Klay Thompson receiving little touches when Luka was the primary ball handler, it resulted in inconsistent shooting, which is why Klay's highly anticipated arrival hasn't been too great. Yet the ironic thing about the starting five is that 3 out of the 5 players in the lineup have already played with each other during Team USA, so chemistry may not be a problem. This sneaky move may actually be better than we think. The Mavs have also made it clear that Luka's constant conditioning issues have been a bit frustrating. Also his weight, because Luka currently weighs 270 pounds, and with the excessive weight on your body, it may start to break down on you with injuries. Prime example is Zion Williamson. Nonetheless, Luka was blindsided and the Lakers got a superstar, who can now be their franchise player. As LeBron nears his exit, they now have a replacement. Honestly, it seems like they're forcing his exit with this, out with the old, in with the new. However, the Lakers took a huge dip on defense. Luka is not known to be a good defender, but he does play good defense when it matters the most. However, you tackle Luka's defense and the fact that LeBron picks and chooses when he wants to play defense, their defense may cause hair pulling and a lot of communication issues. But they did make a slight jump in offense, mainly due to the fact that Luka's offensive presence disrupts the whole team's defensive scheme. Especially due to his high usage of pick and rolls, teams are going to double Luka near the 3-point area, leaving a man open for an easy bucket at the rim, since their rim protector would not be drawn outside of the paint, or the Lakers may have an easy 3-pointer. Luka is now also paired with a coach who loves his game, a player he's familiar with and enjoys playing with, and Dorian Finney-Smith. And with the coach loving Luka, he'll be orchestrating the offense, especially since he's not a Robin. He's going to be the first option. He's not a catch and shoot player, he's a playmaker. The ball needs to be in his hands, so LeBron will have to accept being the second option if the team wants to have a meaningful season. I don't know if you guys see the vision, but hear me out real quick. It's like Kyrie and LeBron 2.0. The only thing they're missing is their Kevin Love. Even with that being said, what many people are failing to realize is that the Lakers are 5th in the West, 1 game behind Denver for the 4th place. So why would you make a huge move like this when what you have is already working? and starting to mold to what JJ Redick envisioned. And if you're the Mavericks, why shuffle pieces on your roster if you just made it to the finals? Both teams receive injured players, so it makes the anticipation on these players' first game at its peak. But there's some good news for the Lakers. Luka's wrapping up his recovery on his calf sprain, and once Luka comes back, this may be one of the single great seasons we may see from an NBA player. He will be on a redemption tour. However, for the Mavs, this may give us the Anthony Davis we all have been asking for, that New Orleans Pelicans Anthony Davis. But we may have to wait a bit longer as his injury is worse than we originally thought. It will be out for another week. Anthony Davis has also eliminated his trade kicker, which means the Mavericks have more cap space and can make more moves in hopes for a playoff run. Honestly, this has absolutely been one of the craziest trades in NBA history. A head scratcher for sure. The Lakers basically gave up nothing to get Luka. What do you guys think of this trade? Who won?
We feel that defense wins championships, and we're excited to go. We feel like we're built to win now as well as in the future.